What's up, good people? It's your boy Scott Lewis, apartment Gainer and more, here with another Brooklyn Nets Stoop Edition. Um, we're gonna talk about the Nets and the Clippers, and a little bit about the trades that's going on. I want to talk a little bit about. I was checking out Gil Arenas' stuff with Martin was talking about how the center for the Grizzlies would be a dominant center in the NBA if they allow him to do his thing. I was trying to check out on Twitter. I saw a couple of quotes and people putting up video. Some people were putting up video with him talking about how he's 6'4" and dominating in paint. He can score, he can rebound, he could do a lot of things, and his game set is being overshadowed because of John Morant. So, I mean, what do y'all think about that? I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. I mean, I do think that let me check this out. Let me check out. Um, Let me check something out before I go forward. Let me see. Memphis. That would be Zach Edey. He was talking about how Zach Edey plays a significant role or can play a significant role in a scoring ability. I personally think Zach Edey is a good center. He just doesn't, a lot of players have a lot of upside that, depending on the team and depending on the situation and the team's place in the league, they might not get an opportunity to get a chance to actually showcase their skills. We've seen a little bit of Zach Edey's play, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he could easily be in the top five centers in the league from what I see, and I totally agree with what they're saying about Zach Edey. So that being said, let me just go over. We played the Clippers today. Let me go over the starting lineup for the Nets. Starting lineup. I'm gonna bring it up. NBA starting lineup for today. And the only thing I don't like about the NBA listing the starting lineup is it doesn't always turn out to be what it is, what it's supposed to be. But I'm gonna put it up there anyway. And today's NBA starting lineup. Okay. Let's zoom in on it. And today's starting lineup for too much. Okay. I don't know if that's too little. Okay, that's much better. Today's starting lineup: Brooklyn versus the Lakers. The Lakers will start shooting guard Chris Dunn. We got Kawhi Leonard, small forward, James Harden point guard, John Collins power forward, and Zubac center. And for the Nets, we have Zaire Williams, a shooting guard, Michael Porter Jr., small forward, Igor Domenech point guard, Noah Clowney power forward, and Nick Claxton center. So, I mean, when you look at the Nets, and last couple of games, they have been practically, when you think about it, MPJ has been carrying this team, really, to be honest. His presence on the court gives a lot of other players the opportunity to grow. So I look for this to be a interesting game, considering that LA Clippers have been playing really decent ball lately. A lot of people thought they was going to give OKC a high draft pick, but they might possibly could end the season a little above 500. Who knows? Who knows? The last two games, Brooklyn has played against, last three games, Brooklyn lost all three games against the Clippers. The last game we played, the Clippers won 132 to 100, and that was March the 28th, 2025. Yep. And before that, we lost to them terribly, 126 to 67. We must have been on a real downturn. The last time we beat the Clippers was in 2023 when we played them, and we beat them 100 to 93. So we haven't had a good track record against the Clippers. That's for sure. But that being said, this is a new game. They ain't see more Michael Porter Jr. and the gameplay of our rookie, Igor Demen. He's been playing very well. You know, one thing I could say about Igor that I appreciate, and I know I'd be kind of hard on him about his ball handling and stuff, is that I think he has a lot of determination, and that's important to have that when you playing in this league. He has, he wants to get better. He clearly could shoot better than what a lot of scouts say. You know, scouts were saying that he couldn't shoot. I didn't believe that. Okay, and okay, I know what that is. All right, yeah, and I see that the Clippers have been playing decent ball since then. Let's look at the schedule. Regular season schedule. We'll take a look. Well, let's take a look at the games. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to go even one better. Let me change this and go to the NBA schedule. NBA standings. Let's go to the standings right now. Okay. And we're going to go to the standings. NBA standings. Okay. Let's go to the standings. Okay. Right now, the Pistons are 28-9, playing really decent as usual. The Knicks kind of lost a little bit of steam, but they won their last game. They 24-13. The Celtics are, I think, surprising a lot of people at 23-13. And if they keep this up, they're going to be something to reckon with if their superstar comes back. If Jason Tatum comes back, they're going to be somebody to reckon with. Let's see. The Raptors are 23-15. The 76ers are 20-15. We also, Magic is 21-17. Hey, what's up, John? The Cavs are 21-18, and the Hawks are 18-21. When I look at the rest of the bottom of that, like the Bulls, the Bucks, the Hornets, the Nets, the Wizards, and the Pacers, I mean, it's a crapshoot. I think Giannis is out of Milwaukee and for real. I mean, Milwaukee need a change, and the Hornets, which I am totally disappointed with. As much talent as they got, they should not be 13-25. The Wizards and the Pacers, I kind of knew the Pacers. Pacers kind of blew it up, and we kind of knew they wasn't going to be that great this year. And the Nets and the Wizards, I mean, the Wizards are always there. I think they luck might change with picking up that guard. It might, sometimes change is good, and Trey is a point guard that can be probably instrumental to some of the young guys that's on the team. So, they can easily win another 10 games, be 20 and 36 or 20 and 40 or something like that. So I could see that easily.
It's interesting. You said the word crapshoot, and that's what the trade deadline's looking like right now. Like we heard a lot of
Shit.
stuff today. I mean, the Anthony
Yeah.
Davis one. I mean, the man of broken glass. He defines that. He smashed his hand, and now he has ligament damage. and might be out the rest of the
What
season.
happened? What was
Wow.
going on with that?
He apparently hit his hand in the game on a block or something
Oh,
or at the
okay,
rim,
okay.
and like
All
he
right.
smashed his hand, and it's just
Yeah.
damn. But now, like that is huge right now because the Hawks were looked at as the team that wanted to pivot to him after trading Trey to the Wizards. But now, if he's out, I'm not sure both teams want to do that deal. Even though Dallas
Right.
should want to collect draft capital from somebody since they don't have any after this year. And the scary thing is they could start tanking very soon because they
Right.
have vet pieces they want to get rid of. So the Nets, if they win some games, the Dallas might just fall behind them. But also at the same time, the John Morant stuff, very
Yeah.
interesting.
I
Like
hear they.
obviously,
I hear they actually the Grizzlies are putting them on the block, seeing
yeah,
what's talking about.
yeah,
I really am with what Leaf was saying with Zach Eady. I'm interested in Zach Eady.
well, Zach Edey's not going anywhere because the Memphis, what they want to do is they go in a youth move. And when they did that trade of Desmond Bain for KCP, like they had options. And it seems like they want to build around Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey, Jalen Wells, and especially Coward. That kid has been really good for them this year. He looks like a piece of their future. So it looks like Memphis wants to go in a younger direction. And Ja just the baggage of the opening season, the suspension, the fallout with the coach, the last few years, like it seems Morant's ready for a fresh new start. It's just who wants him. Hearing teams like Miami,
Do you think
hearing teams
Jordy
like
can handle
Minnesota.
him?
I think it's very interesting based on the Trey Young stuff because we would put Ja in a category of disgruntled secondary stars like Trey Young, like LaMelo Ball, like Zion. And right now, the Pelicans confirmed today Zion, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy are going nowhere. So those are three pieces off the trade block that some teams wanted. So now you focus on Ja. And I think for the Nets, it's something to think about. I don't think they'll seriously consider right now. But if you're telling me if there was a package on the table to get Ja, it would be Terrence Mann, Cam
Yeah.
Thomas, Haywood Highsmith, Ben Seraph, and a first round pick. Like that's literally like general. Like Trey Young went for zero picks because of his limitations, but Ja still has some age on his side. He still has some athletic ability, and he's still a high quality young player. He just has off court baggage and stuff like that. But if I was presenting a package like that to Memphis, it's like a take it or leave it. You get a young prospect in Seraph. You get to see if Cam Thomas can revive his career. You get a veteran player in Haywood for the young guys, and you get one of our picks. I'll give them a 2029 Knicks first. Take it or leave it. If they don't think that's good value for Ja Morant, you're not going to get a lot of big value. I think the most you'll get from a team for Ja is two firsts, maybe a young player, and some salary. Like it's not going to be too crazy. So if the Nets feel that they're going to keep MPJ, they're going to keep Claxton. Claxton and Zaire Williams have a close friendship with Ja. Ja comes here. There's obviously some chemistry and some vibes with those guys. And you could see if a Ja and MPJ could get you somewhere in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, it's not like long term success, but just like you said, Scott, everybody's got to start from somewhere like the Wizards are trying to do with Trey Young. Is that something the Nets want to do based off his baggage? No, but like you just asked me, can Jordy revive John Morant's value and improve his attitude? We'll have
Yeah.
to see if they actually want to do that. But it's definitely something to think about because his value's that low right now. And if
Yeah.
I'm the Nets, I have some pieces that aren't long term parts of my future, like the four guys I just mentioned. You could send that out. see what Ja, MPJ, Clax, and these young guys can do together. I think it could get you play-in or first round, but I think the Nets are holding on to all this cap space and picks because they want to get a bigger fish. But if that bigger fish ain't out there, I mean, there's worser options to look at than a John
What
Moran at this point.
what bigger fish than John Morant?
I keep
Other
I
than
keep
Giannis. I mean,
The Giannis thing is so interesting because you think about it. If MPJ, here's the thing: after the AD stuff and the Josh stuff,
right,
right now the best player on the trade block in the whole NBA is Michael Porter Jr. playing like a top 10 guy. So if
right.
you're going to keep a top 10 guy,
I would hear offers though. I'm not gonna lie to you. As a GM, he has to hear offers. I mean, if somebody come to
right,
you and say, listen, we give you 3 picks, 3 number 1s. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to turn that down.
right,
I
and just
mean,
like I said,
even though you know, I think Michael Porter Jr. You are rolling the dice like you were saying with the injuries and stuff, but it's hard to tell, man. It's really hard to tell from a team perspective. How good is he in the locker room? He must be good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we don't
uh,
really know. I mean, not unless we in there talking to them, and they saying, "Yo, he's inspirational in the locker room." I think
right.
he works well with Igor.
Yeah, I think Yegor's taken well to his advice and knowledge, and he's
Right.
passing Yegor the
Sure, that's
ball
what I'm
more.
saying.
Right. So if you do keep an MPJ, big fish right now I've talked about are a Giannis, an Ant Man, or a Mitchell. Those are the three big stars that could be available in the near future. The Bucks situation is interesting because Giannis says he's not going anywhere. The Bucks seem like they want to keep him at least till the summer. I think by the summer, when he declines an extension, they'll have no choice. So I think that's what Giannis wants to do here. He doesn't want to look like the villain. He wants to look like the hero that's falling on the sword and is going to force the Bucks' hand, which honestly fair games play on his part. I don't want to deal with the baggage of my legacy being tarnished by knowing me out the door. So at the end of the day, the Bucks are another team that might want MPJ. And a trade that somebody proposed today that I've put on a trade block machine would be Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, the Bucks 2031 first, and their 2032 second. If they were going to do an all-in move for MPJ, that's a deal that would work because think about this: you could turn MPJ into the Denver Nuggets 2032 first, the Bucks 2031 first, and a 2032 swap. Those three firsts alone would be three of the most important draft picks going into the future. Yes, Kuzma and Portis' contracts suck. I don't like them, but you can actually flip Bobby Portis. He's only making $13 million for more assets, and then Kuzma's contract runs out the following year. Isn't a great package for MPJ, but those picks. If the Bucks were that desperate to take a swing and want to keep Giannis for a few more months, get MPJ, that's a trade I'm strongly considering because from a draft picks perspective, I don't think the Bucks are going to be contending team in 5 years when those picks matter. So that actually would give the Nets a great shot at making the Bucks a poverty franchise. But it's really the Bucks being that desperate to want MPJ. And if it's not the Bucks, the Warriors right now look like the front runners. It was confirmed today that Detroit is not looking to make any big moves. So officially, guys, Detroit is out of the
Yeah,
MPJ sweepstakes right now. So the Warriors look like the front runners. I mean, Draymond praised them just now on a podcast saying this guy would have been number one in high school. The Warriors want to move off of Kuminga. The Kings apparently are the only team that wants Kuminga. So if there's a three-team deal between Nets, Warriors, and Kings where MPJ goes to the Warriors, Kuminga goes to the Kings, and the Nets get like two firsts from either one of the teams, a Moody, Buddy type situation, and a Malik Monk vet, that's potentially the best deal the Nets are going to get. Short-term contracts and 1 to 2 firsts, which honestly at this point would be a package I consider for MPJ because people say we need 3 to 4 picks. Well, you already got 1 pick for him. You get 2 more picks, that's 3 firsts for him, and you have short-term contracts on your books with more cap space. Like I know
yeah,
people want a lot, but that's actually decent if the
right,
Warriors are serious about wanting MPJ at this point.
right, right. I
So
don't know
that's
how
somebody to look
serious
out
that
for.
is. Yeah, Warriors are notorious for not giving up too much capital, though.
Mhm.
They really are.
Well, we
They don't.
did do a trade with them with Dennis, which was a micro trade. Now this is a macro trade, but at least we have experience feeling them out and what they want. Obviously, the Nets don't want Kuminga because we already drafted five
No,
guys. We have another pick coming up next year, so it wouldn't make sense to have another young player that also is disgruntled, like as Cam Thomas in a way. So let him go to the Kings, and we get a vet like a Malik Monk. Malik Monk, I think, would be a good vet for the Nets. Guy was playing like a six man for the Kings. He'd be that type of winning vet you want around the young guys if you're trying to make a run for a play-in next year or a playoff seed. So I'd be happy getting him. Now the second pick, is it going to come from the Warriors who already have to give us one pick, or would it come from the Kings? Let's say that's going to be something that would have to be figured out. But if I come away with two firsts from either side or just one team like the Warriors, that's decent. And I could get Moody and Buddy Hield. Moody's interesting. I think he's a two-way forward on that team or something like that.
Yeah, he's like a
That's
two-way.
that is a good piece for Jordy to have because you want to play positionless basketball. That's a guy I think would fit our dynamic. So there could be a cobble of assets there we can get for MPG. I get people don't want to let him go, but the Warriors are in a no-man situation right now. Even the coach said the Curry era is ending soon. So why not let them take that shot in the dark, see what Jimmy, Curry, and MPJ could do. And if that's not good enough, they tried. But you know what? They got to take the shot because Curry, they're just going to keep letting Curry down as his career starts ending soon. So I feel like they're the one team right now. I want to see if they're that desperate because MPJ right now is the best player on the trade block. So we'll see if they are serious about wanting to do business with us if they want to get rid of Kuminga too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. When's the deadline? Is next 2 weeks from now or
It's
3 weeks?
February. It's February 5th. I believe it's on a
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah. I think it's about right because today's the 9th. We're looking at 3 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
About
fast
three.
approaching.
Yeah, a little less than 4 weeks, but 3 weeks. So it's going to get desperate in that last week. It's going to be like these. I don't know if there's going to be a big move. I think a lot of teams are kind of waiting for the off season because nobody really wants to. I don't know. You never know.
You're kind of right about it because the honest one kind of took a lot of the smoke away, and then AD
Yeah,
injuring himself the 1 million time kind of really
that
killed things.
changed a lot
So
of things. Yeah, because
yeah, but
nobody's going to pick them up right now.
right, but that's
Yeah.
where the Nets become the big focal point because we're the only team with $15 million in extra cap
So
space. We have
anybody,
two
can I
of the
ask you
best
something?
players.
Can I
Mhm.
ask you something? That means actually our center, which is Claxton, is probably a good trade piece that teams wouldn't mind having.
Seriously, I mean, Pacers, they're obviously tanking right now, but they don't have an actual center. I get that J Huff guy is doing some impressive things, but that's not a long term center for them. They're a team that might want Claxton. You also have Boston, who right now they're literally a Tatum return and a center away from giving any team in the East a run for their money. So they're a team that might want Claxton too if they feel like they want to give up Simons to get under their own luxury a bit. Also, Lakers, the Aiton thing doesn't look like it's working like it was in the beginning. They're a
Yeah,
team that should have gotten him a year or two ago. So there are teams that are interested in Nick Claxton. Without Davis now, I hear Gafford is still a center people want,
well,
but he's at a cheaper price. That's why. But Claxton, I think, has proven this year that defensively he's still got some things that I still question, but he's still a quality defender, but he's a much better offensive big. So I think teams should want to explore that at least. And we also have Danny Wolf and Dayron. I just ultimately think Wolf, Dayron, and Claxton, that three together, it's not going to work long term. You're going to have to get rid of one
right.
of them. And it shouldn't be Wolf right now because he's still got a ways to go. And
Yeah,
Dayron, he's also got trade value too. We heard about Boston. We've heard about other teams. So I think one of Dayron or Claxton will be dealt by the deadline. It just depends on who's willing to pay a price. But ultimately, I think you got to break that up a little bit just so you can see if Wolf could get more minutes at the five. They're trying to make him four right now. I don't think that's maximizing Danny Wolf's potential. And
you really think he's a
Wolf has got a
five?
chance to
I
start,
mean,
so we'll
you
see
know
what
how
happens.
I feel. I think he's a four, but hey, okay,
I,
we
I
can run
just
him
I
as a
just think
five.
he
I
runs the point better as a big because he only has to guard other bigs. But you saw Scott, they're making him guard at the two, the three, and the four against these agile players who are just running circles around Wolf, and they're making Wolf look like an idiot. It's like I don't want Wolf to look like an idiot. Is all I'm saying. I think they
Yeah,
should
yeah.
utilize
But
him
I
to
mean,
his strengths more.
if he can't rebound, if he's not a rebounder, which he can rebound, we've seen him rebound, but that was weak side rebounding.
Hmm.
He's out there with another guy that's banging on the boards with him. So to me, he seems like that awkward, tall, You know, like a high pick and roll, pick and pop. He more of a pick and pop.
No, I definitely agree that right now he's trying to figure out how to
How to
adapt right
use
now.
him? How to use
Yeah,
him too?
and this is where the Cam Thomas and Nolan things become such an issue. I just feel like those two guys in the backcourt, their styles are so different. Nolan is quick, run and gun. Cam Thomas is slow, methodical. When
Yeah,
those two guys dominate the ball as much as they do, Wolf just becomes a side piece and he doesn't get to do much offensively. I feel like Jordy has to break up
I would
that
like this.
backcourt.
I agree with you with that. I would like to
Yeah.
see them. I would like to see Wolf. I would like to see them two rookies, Wolf and Nolan, play and be the focal point of a run and see how it works out. But
Yeah.
but you need the matchup to be right. He can't you can't put him out there with, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Aaron Gordon, when we saw him play against Denver, just went right through Wolf, man. Man, I understand that's a rookie thing, but I'm just saying.
Well, Gordon's kind of like a quarterback too.
Yeah, I mean, but he not even the best four in the league.
Nah, Gordon's a really good. He's a really good high quality player, man. People undervalue him. Like he was a huge part of why they won a title. Like can definitely never take that away from the guy. But I agree. Listen, Wolf can get better defensively. He has to get stronger physically. I think all these guys are starting to show some signs of getting there. I think Wolf has ways to go. But you look at a guy like Jaeger, like he looks a lot better physically than he did coming into training camp. He looks like he's got
Yeah,
some
that's
muscle on the
fair.
arms, which is
That's
good. So
fair.
I feel like for Wolf, he's got to get stronger on his legs. He's got to guard a bit more laterally. I think this summer will be a good chance for him to work a lot on his defensive game. I think
Yeah.
offensively, he's fine. It's just he's not being able to run things on the offensive glass. And this is where the Cam Thomas thing, like, as much as we've seen him have some scoring games, he just looks disinterested. Like, he looks like he doesn't want to be there. And that's really starting to negatively impact some of our rookies like Wolf because Wolf wants to be a part of it. Cam looks like he's there sometimes, but then he just doesn't want to be part of it. It's like they got to break that up, unfortunately. Cam's not going to want to re-sign with us. The organization made very clear how they feel about Cam Thomas. And I think after tonight's game against the Clippers should be calling Sean Marks on a dial tone right now, looking at a guy like Cam Thomas, because they need something outside of Kawhi and Harden right now. They have no offensive focal points
Well, I
outside
don't
of
think the
that.
Clippers have anything to offer, do they?
They got Chris Paul in 2 seconds. I mean, if you're trading Cam by himself, Scott, what do you expect to get at this point? I don't think
I mean,
anybody's
he's
offering any
way better
first.
than Chris Paul in 2 seconds.
Yeah, but Scott, you gotta look at the market. You
You
thought it was
can't
bad. You
throw.
thought it was bad what Trey Young was traded for,
He's
zero
not,
picks.
but I'm saying he's not hurting the team. Even if he's sitting on the bench and you're not taking 2 seconds. You're not taking two
You-
seconds for a score.
You're not getting any first from, unfortunately, Scott. I
No,
just
I
don't think
know
any
that.
team
I
is
know
biting the
that. But
bullet
at
on
least
that.
get a better. Not Chris Paul.
I mean, I don't know who else the Clippers want to give us though for
They've
Cam
got
Thomas.
nothing. They have nothing. That's the point. That's the point I'm trying to make. I wouldn't take a player in a second. If
Maybe
if
some
if
like
if you saying to dump him, I mean not to dump him, but I'm saying if you saying to move him, right?
hmm,
And I I take the 2 seconds is fine. 2 seconds is fine.
right.
But what I'm saying is Chris Paul. Who
I,
else do
I
they got? They ain't got
I
nothing.
they're one of the few teams that could have
Harden
interest.
ain't coming back.
Besides the Clippers, the other team is the Bucks. Like you're saying, the Bucks are
Yeah.
looking all over the market for anything. The only thing they have to
I
dangle
think the
is
Bucks
the
is the one that
tw-
really makes more sense. I mean, I
yeah,
understand why the Clippers will want him. Yeah,
right.
of course the Clippers will want him. But
Right.
what
The
I'm
only the
saying,
only the only thing is it would be ludicrous to think they would give up that 2031 first for Cam
oh no,
Thomas
they're not
alone.
giving up no first.
Unless you pair a Zaire Williams or a Terrence Mann with Cam Thomas, I think maybe we could get a protected 2031 Bucks pick. Maybe the Bucks are willing to play a little Russian roulette with us, but I don't know if they'll give us a fully unprotected first for both Zaire and Cam. I
Yeah,
think they
yeah.
might offer a protected version of it with Kyle Kuzma. And honestly, I would take that because Kuzma's contract comes off the book in a year, and that Bucks pick could work in our favor or their favor. But
Yeah.
I think that's a gamble you should take because, like you just said, Scott, if you could turn Cam for anything that's higher than 2 seconds, that's something that's higher, even though it's not fully
Yeah, because
guaranteed.
Sean got to do some work, man. He can't make it easy for Sean. Yeah, I like Gylo. Yeah, Wolf has been used to his hasn't been used to his biggest strength yet. I think so too. I
Right.
think he.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know. I've never disagreed with Wolf. I like Wolf. I would have drafted him, but the whole thing is I don't know what he is. I really don't know why he's so such a weird position to put in because when he played with Michigan, I didn't see him as a lone center. That's what I'm saying. I seen him play with a true center, and he was magnificent. He was magnificent. That's what I'm saying. But it's still early, right? It is still early,
Right. Well,
man. It is still
it's all
early.
about that positionless basketball thing. I get why they're experimenting with him at 2, 3, 4, and even the 5, but it's also like you don't want to do
Yeah,
sensory overload with him because obviously his legs aren't under him fully yet. So it's like
yeah,
I get the experimentation, which I'm all for, but sometimes put him in a position to succeed where he actually can give you consistency on the offensive side. Not that he's trying to learn all his positions and he's not getting anything out of it. That's where I feel like Jordy is faltering, and that's why the Daron Claxton thing is holding Wolf back a little bit there. I don't think the Dayron and Wolf thing off the bench, as good as it is to protect Cam Thomas and Nolan's weaknesses a little bit, it still
yeah.
doesn't allow Wolf a chance to shine. And Dayron, I like what Dayron has given us in some games, but in other games, like that game again the other night where he literally almost cost them the game, one of his biggest takeaways of all time, feels like Dayron still lacks some of the fundamentals to be a
I
legit
don't know.
long term big for us.
I
That's the
think,
thing.
yeah, I think he been coming off the bench so long that you need to really start him for more than a couple of games or a week or two of games. You really need to run him. I mean, it is the NBA, and you just got to be ready. But I
Right,
don't know.
but if you do
Mhm.
trade Clax, you can start Dayron and then have Wolf be a backup. Like I'm all fine with that because you can keep Dayron on a cheaper contract if they want to re-up his option, right? They have a team option. So
Right.
if they want to re-up him to a short-term deal to make the financials work, okay, Dayron can stay because I like what he gives us on the rebounding end. But you got to get rid of one of them. Right now, our center position, we have over what $30 million being committed to right now, 35
That's
mil.
not a lot of money, though, considering that we got three of
Yeah,
them. Come on, we got
yeah,
three
but
cent. We got three centers. $30 million ain't nothing, dude.
nah, listen, this is my ultimate thing. As much as Claxton's done well this season, is Claxton long term going to be able to go up against the best bigs in the NBA? I still have so many doubts about it. Like, he's looked better this year, but he's also looked bad against some of the best bigs, but they just outweigh him, outsize him, and it's like Claxton doesn't do anything on the offensive side to make up for his lack of strength on some of those areas. So it's like, I think the Nets have to make a decision on one of them because you have Danny Wolf. You got to see more of what he can do with a bigger role. So I feel like one of them has to go by the deadline, Dayron or Clax. And I think they might trade Dayron before Clax because of what Claxton's done this year. But if that's the case, then hopefully you'll allow Wolf to play the 5 at that point as a backup. And if not, then why'd you trade Dayron? You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to put him in a position to succeed on this team if he's a part of your future long term. I just feel like for Claxton, he had 7 years to really master all this, and it feels like right now he's doing it. But even
He's
though,
he's 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 on the block. Any player is on the block. Every player is on the block, dude. I honestly believe that when you a GM running a team, all players can be traded.
yeah, but Sean Marks doesn't act like he has to. Like last year, we thought he was going to do something. Now this year, it was even reported to say that Sean is listening, but he doesn't quite want to trade MPJ. Doesn't quite want to trade. It was like, well, you know what? Too bad because your Claxton and MPJ are now at the top of the trade block after the AD injury, the John Morant stuff. Like all these other guys that are available, Jeremy Grant, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. Those guys have low tier value. Claxton and PJ actually are each worth a first right now. And given the fact that first round picks are like gold right now and nobody wants to give them up, that's high value. And Sean
No.
wants more than that.
Well, if they want to give it up, that's the key. A lot of teams don't want to give up the first.
I
You
think
just saw
Warriors
you
might
just saw
roll
Trey
with it.
Young get traded for two players,
Right,
literally.
but he's got defensive
That's
limitations.
telling.
That's a huge reason why.
Yeah, but I mean, every player got a limitation. I'm just saying, you just gave up a guy who went to the All Star 4 years. Went to the playoffs 15 times in his
I, I
career.
I totally agree, but the thing with Trey Young's accomplishments, that was a previous era of basketball. Now you're in this new era where everything's about height, defense, athleticism, things
I
that this
think
guy
I
has
think that can
nothing
be
of.
overshadowed with team ball. I really
Right,
believe that. I believe
right.
team ball is more important than just height. I
I
mean,
agree. I agree with
we
you.
have seen small players play great defense. I have seen it. I don't know if other people seen it, but I have seen it.
Right, but that's just not the case with Trey, and they were
Yeah, I
evaluating
agree
him
with you
on
with
an
that too.
individual level. That was all individual evaluation,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
surprised the Wizards did that. But for guys like MPJ Clocks right now, they bring a lot of intangibles. MPJ offensively is a perfect third option for a team like the Warriors right now. Clocks right now gives a Luca some good defensive protection, and he's an improved playmaker. So it's like their values are at the highest right now, and I would be shocked and a little stunned that Sean wouldn't at least explore trading one of them when the values are super high. But just like you saw, Scott, the longer you wait to trade a guy, because Trey Young should have been traded 3 to 4 years ago, when I think you would have got a first or two for him. But the Hawks waited too long, and then you had to do something like this. Like you don't want to wait too long to trade a guy, and especially if an
yeah,
injury happens. Like Morant's value's down because of injuries. They could trade him a year or two earlier to get something back. Like you can't wait too long on some guys who may be playing good right now. But all it takes is an injury or some type of setback for their values to go in the crapper.
yeah, yeah. Like I always said, it takes some luck to get a good team, man. It
Did you
takes
see
luck.
what? Did you see what happened when Carter kicked MPJ's knee the other day?
I
I was like,
know.
"Oh my no!"
I thought he was going to be out for the rest of the season. Then,
Oh, great. Terrence Mann's back in the starting lineup tonight. Here we
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Revenge game against the Clippers. Yeah, nice one, Jody. Here we go. But Terrence Mann's
Right.
got to go, man. Ultimately, a Nolan, a Powell should be getting starting minutes soon. It's like, man is just holding that back. Like, I don't know what we can get for him, but I said to Scott, I'll take an expiring salary from anybody for Terrence Mann right
I don't
now.
think
No
Powell's
capital.
ready. I really
Now,
don't think
I
Powell's
know, but
ready.
I gotta get Man's money off the books. We don't need it. I'll tell any team. I'll take any expiring contract you want to give me. I'll take no picks back at this point for Terrence Mann. I don't think Terrence Mann has any value right now from a draft capital perspective. I'll just take an expiring salary back
Maybe
at this
not
point.
from a draft capital, but I think from a team perspective, he does have value. He probably know a lot about playing ball in the league, so just getting rid of him is kind of futile for nothing. My
Well,
thing
you get
is,
cap
I mean, you
space.
ain't going to get no great value for him anyway.
You could get cap space, like expiring
Yeah,
salary. Like that's literally what you do it for because we can find vets to be mentors for these guys. Like, what always upsets me, Scott, is mentors are
I
all
think
over the
he's a good
NBA.
mentor. I think he's a good locker room guy. Yeah, he
Uh,
probably is a good locker room guy.
He's not a
He,
good winning player, though. I think he could be
I
a vet,
mean,
but
you
he's not a winning
can't.
player. I don't think. He averages four. He
Uh,
averages 4, 5, and 4. Scott, respectfully, like
no, that's
that's
just his game. We talking about the locker room.
yeah. But you can find locker room guys all over the NBA right now, and I just feel like that guy is holding up a starting spot for some of our young guys who should be get that
I don't
spot to
think all
count
our
themselves
young
for.
guys are ready, man.
I
I
think
think
Powell
if you
can
put
play
him
the
out
two
there,
position right now next to Yegor. He
I
could
think
give
if you,
defensive coverage.
I think if you put them out there as starters and give them 30 minutes, it's going to look bad.
But they're
I
going to
really
get better
believe that.
from it. The first 3 games, yes, but like the next 8 or 10 after that, at that position starting, they'll get better. Like a Drake Powell can start at the two and provide good defense. Nolan Troyer could play the one, and let's experiment with Yegor at the two as a scorer. Like we could do something like that. But you have a guy like Man who's taken up a spot that he doesn't need. And the Nets could just trade him for some expiring salary at this point. So it opens up more playing time for the rookies. That's a good thing for the Nets to do at this point. Man passed on knowledge, good, but Man should be on a contender playing that vet role you're talking about right now.
Yeah, but he could do that here
You don't need to. We
and
can
teach
find
our
vets all
rookies
over.
how to handle it. Because I really don't think they ready, man. I'd look at them; they not ready, dude. They not ready.
Do you
It's
think we
not
should bring?
fair.
Do you think we should
I,
bring Brooke Lopez back for one last hurrah before he
nah,
pulls the pool?
he's ready to retire, man. He ain't got
Hey,
one last year. Come on, we
one
don't
last
need.
dance.
Nah, no, don't bring him back.
He's at
We don't.
10,444 points. Let him at least get like 10,450.
He won a title with Milwaukee. He should have stayed in Milwaukee.
Nah, they had to break that up. They had to break that up.
But yeah, I you know what? It's interesting with Claxton. That's the thing that I find to be very interesting. Moving Claxton, but like I said, centers are hard to get in this league, man. And I'm not saying Claxton is this great center, but he does offer some kind of, people know he's in the paint. They got to look for him. Can't just run in there and just think that you're going to lay it up.
It'll be very interesting to see what happens with Boston because Sean and Stevens were pictured having conversations a month back, and
Yeah.
they've been talking about Claxton, talking about Dayron. I think they might lean on getting Dayron and let's say a Terrence Mann or something like that for Anthony Simons and a pick. I think they don't want the long-term salary with Claxton, but they wouldn't mind short-term salaries.
Anthony Simons' contract is expiring next year.
27 mil expiring, which would be good cap space for the Brooklyn Nets to have, and a pick on top of it. If we're going to move Cam Thomas, Simon slides in as a sixth man for this team or something like that. So, I would be okay with that move. And we could also bench him towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
So, I think that would be a good move.
Hey, kid. This is how I feel about man. Man, sometimes your locker room means just as much as playtime on the court. That's my opinion. Some people just look at what you do, but you got to remember they're a team. They be together a lot. So if you're around good, positive people and they telling you, look, I know what they're going to do. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. This is what you need to look for. Don't worry about it. If you miss a shot, it's okay. Shit like that. You need to hear that as a rookie. You need that shit. You need that. Now, some players won't do it. Some players don't do it well. You understand what I'm saying? This is where some leadership kind of people that been in the league for a minute. I know what John is going to say. There's plenty of it. But with even changing the locker room changes the attitude. Even if you replace them with somebody who's similar to it, especially during the season. The season is halfway through, so they got these rookies, these 19-year-olds got accustomed to these guys.
Right, but what I also like about the rookies you drafted, they all seem to have some level of professionalism, but some of them did play Euroball, so I think they're very adaptable. No matter who the person is in front of them, I think they're very respectful, and they're like sponges. They're absorbing a lot of what they get. My whole thing is, you can rotate the pieces. You can reinvent the wheel, basically, is what I'm saying, with certain pieces and stuff like that. Look at DeAndre Jordan. I didn't think this guy would have any value after winning that ring with the Nuggets, but
he look what he's done. No value. Would you trade for him?
Look what he's done. Look what he's done for Derek Queen. He took Derek Queen under his wing, and that first big game Derek Queen had, he was sitting down in the locker room. DeAndre Jordan gets up and says, "Yo, stand up, young fella. This is your moment." He's giving Derek Queen a lot of confidence to believe in himself and challenge, take his game to a different level. That's the type of vets I want as far as the mentor role
I think
goes.
you got it. I
don't think I have that with Terrence Mann, respectfully. I don't see it.
You don't think so?
Not with Terrence Mann.
Why?
I'd rather have a vet that's not close to the end of their career, but still has a year or two left where they could give the right type of knowledge, but they're not infringing on the young player's progress. Terrence Mann doesn't have to show these rookies how to do it for 1 or 2 years.
I think Jordy preferred to show. I think Jordy believes, and I heard him say this, is that showing them is better than telling them.
Mm-hmm.
We have heard that. We have heard him say that. He said, I think being on the court is a good experience. But you can't just throw them out there and say, okay, 3 rookies and 2 vets, and y'all get out there and get busy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not during the first half, but second half you can't. Not during the first half, but second half you can't. Because second half, it's about protecting the pick, and let's see if the rookies can win games by themselves, which I think they can put up a fight against maybe 1 or 2 teams in the league, but it's good challenges. Going through adversity is not always a bad thing because, listen, they had a winning month December. We're going to go down as one of the only tanking teams in NBA history.
No, we're not a tanking team. We're not a tanking team.
No, but Scott, you know what I'm saying, though? We're one of the few rare tanking teams where we've shown rookies you can win early on in your careers, which rarely happens. So they have that under their shoulders. But now it's They're going to get tested to have higher pressurized roles to see if they can meet the challenge, which is good by
Yeah.
Jordan, to not let them feel like they have to be scared of the moment. They got to take the moment and run with it, which I thought Yegor did in last game. He took the ball when he was calling for the ball on those four big threes he had. He was saying, "Give me the ball, give me the ball." His arms are open. That's what you want to see from the rookies. They want the challenge. So I think they would be accepting of it, not
Yeah.
fearful of it. And
Hmm.
I agree with you that we do need winning vets or vets that have been there, done that, that could be those good locker room guys. I just have an open mind that we can find that in the open market this summer because we'll have over $50 million in cap space to do so.
Yeah, we still got time. We still, it ain't
Yeah.
even halfway through. We still got time. We still got time. We got a whole half a season plus some games to the All Star break. We got plenty of time. These guys are going to get plenty of burn. They're going to find out what it is to be in the NBA and play 86. I think it's 86 or 84.
82, 82, 82.
82 games. Because
Yeah.
I'm quite sure they didn't do that in Europe.
Right.
They're going to find out. So, that being said, I think the game getting ready to start in 5 minutes.
8 minutes,
Like
eight minutes, 8 minutes.
8 minutes, yeah. All right. John, thank you for being here. Where they can see you at on X? And I'm quite
Yes,
sure.
great conversation as always, Scott. If you ever want to
Yeah,
talk fun basketball, follow me on Twitter, everything BK Nets John. Make good fun Brooklyn Nets content, trying to get to 500 followers. If you haven't followed my
yeah.
content
Follow
yet,
him.
please
Follow
do
follow
because I try
John.
to produce the best Brooklyn content possible that's engaging and fun for you Brooklyn fans out there. But yeah, trade deadline is just around the corner. Me and Scott set the table. The Nets have two very valuable players that are at the top of the trade block after the Anthony Davis John Morant news today, and that's MPJ and Nick Claxton. Whatever Sean Marks chooses to do with their values, again, it's always up to him. But I hope that this organization takes advantage of this deadline and puts themselves in a great position to not only protect the lottery pick, but just like we talked about, let these rookies get real run and keep testing themselves, which I think will put the Nets in a good position to keep building this what they're trying to do right now. But shout out to the
Yeah,
Brooklyn fans for being a part of the journey always.
yeah. I appreciate you, John. I think I never tell you that.
No, I appreciate Scott. I appreciate you too, man. Like our conversations, some of the funnest I've had, man. Like I appreciate and respect the hell out of you for covering the concept, for being a hell of a photographer. Where you covered at the park, man.
Thank
That
you,
was
thank you,
amazing.
thank
But
you.
it's always good to talk fun basketball. Like follow Scott's content too, man. He always lets people talk good Brooklyn basketball, and he always brings great discussions, great debates. So shout out to him too.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the Nets. Go Nets.
Peace.